that in terms of like how many people are watching and what Doctor Who represents now, I had a really interesting text. This is from Andy, who says, I'm a guy who considers himself of the left. Most of my friends are women, some are trans, some are gay. But even I cringe watching an episode of Doctor Who. It's no longer a family show about space and time travel. It's literally a bunch of memes telling us that white straight men are the source of all evil in the universe. It's aimed at 12-year-old girls, but watched by a declining number of people over the age of 40. If Doctor Who is dying, it's because the BBC has killed it. Yes, there were always stories that had messages or storylines about the environment or the misuse of power or intolerance, but now it has just become an intolerant program condemning most of its viewers simply for existing. Now, it's interesting because when I watched this 20 minutes, it was just kind of randomly on, I was pottering around, it was on. I didn't feel as strongly as Andy feels, but I did notice like the diversity of the characters, and I was just like, okay, so this one's this person, this one's this person, this one's this person.
Yeah.
Fine, but I can see why Andy is saying what he's saying.
Sometimes it does feel like you're being lectured to. I think it really depends, depending on, who you are and kind of how much involved and how invested you are in this episode.
How does Doctor Who, like, the people over 40 still watching it and still wanting to relate to it in the same way? Like, you can't.
Or enjoy it. Just enjoy it and have that nostalgia. Maybe that's what Andy is saying. He feels alienated from even having that experience.
Yeah. But in the bits I have seen, I do kind of agree with him, because sometimes it does feel like you are being lectured to. I think in the few times we've had to watch it for Must Watch, because I never watch it by choice, I've come in and said exactly the same thing as Andy.
All right, now here's the interesting part. Why is the BBC tearing into Doctor Who? Is this the first time that a leftist writes to them? Is this the first time that they've heard this argument? No. The reality is that the BBC is realizing, with what a lot of other politicians in Britain are realizing, is that this thing is not sustainable. And it's not sustainable for many reasons, but Doctor Who in particular, this is actual part of British folklore. This is part of Britain's soft power. It's a show that has a lot of decades under its belt. It went around the world, and people saw Doctor Who and they associated with Britain. The same way that weebs associate anime with Japan. The same way that people associate Hollywood with America, right? Like, soft power is actually important on the global scale. It gets other citizens of other nations to like you. You don't have to fire a single gun. Like, imagine today if America decided to bully Japan for no reason. Like, a lot of American citizens on the left and on the right, they would be against those politicians simply because, dude, it's Japan, like, it's making anime. What the fuck are you on about? It doesn't matter if it's rational or not. It doesn't matter if the argument can be debunked or not. It's just the reality, right? It's the same thing that happened in Romania. Like, why do a lot of Romanians absolutely adore Americans? Like, we like Americans more than we like the European Union. And the answer is because we grew up with rock and roll, Hollywood, American culture. Like, you would go on the radio, and on every single broadcast, it was American music. And so people growing up with American culture, they love America. And if you have a politician now that shits on America, like Romanians will make that politician suffer. They will vote against him. They will meme on him. They will mock him. And so if you're a big nation that has aspirations on the world stage like Britain, you need to do soft power. You need to make songs. You need to make music. You need to make movies. And apparently, Doctor Who is doing extremely poorly. And it's not just doing poorly with the right. It's doing poorly with everyone. Like, the numbers are plummeting. And so while you can say, okay, well, this is propaganda to promote left-leaning identity politics. But if no one watches the propaganda, it's wasted resources, it's wasted money. It's like, okay, let's do something else. Like, we still want to make left-leaning propaganda, right? We still want to push ESG. We still want to do identity politics. But, like, this isn't working. Like, we need to find something else that works to push our propaganda. And this is the main problem, you know? And it's true, like, I watched a clip from Doctor Who. It was going viral on Twitter. And there were, like, 3 women there. One of them was in a wheelchair. Another one was, I think, like a 60-year-old. And another black lady, also below mid. And the doctor, like, he got hit with a laser or some shit, and then he splits into 2 doctors, and it looked like homoerotic. Like, it looked like they were aroused as they were splitting in 2. I don't know the story, and, like, maybe some of you have seen this episode, but, like, the message was queer, right? Like, it was almost homosexual in nature. Making sure that no straight man can find any titillation whatsoever, because you got, like, a lady in a wheelchair, you got... another lady that's old, right? Meanwhile, if you're a homosexual, I mean, this actor looked good, right? If you're a woman, the idea of, like, these 2 men having this homosexual revelation may be stimulating. I don't fucking know. But then, like, the lady in the wheelchair started preaching about girl power and, you know, being a boss. And it felt like a PowerPoint presentation with the HR lady rather than an entertaining movie. And so anyone that's not gay, anyone that's even on the left, gets absolutely no entertainment from it. You know, it's not enjoyable, it's cringe. And so even the BBC is going like, okay, we need to shut it down. We're wasting resources with this. Like, we actually have agendas to push. We actually have ideologies to shove down people's throats. We're wasting our time with this. And I think, like, this is a shot across the bow by telling the producers, hey, either you shut it down or make something else or change course. And I do expect that if this continues, yeah, like, Doctor Who is going to be shut down. If you're a British person, you should care. Even if you don't watch the show, like, this was part of your culture, you know. Very few shows managed to hang around for a couple of decades. And unfortunately, you know, Britain has absolutely nothing on the international scale now. Like, it used to have James Bond, right? It used to have the Beatles. The Beatles were British, weren't they? Before I embarrass myself. I'm going to embarrass myself, aren't I? But you used to have Doctor Who. You used to have, like, a lot of shit. Now what do you have? You know, what exactly is Britain renowned for in the international community? Like, what is British culture, as people used to ask? It used to be football, politeness, fish and chips. No one gives a shit about that anymore, right? And I don't think, like, this is going to be the status quo. I don't think, like, 30 years from now, you look at Britain and you don't know what it's being renowned for. Like, I'm pretty sure the Brits will get their shit together. But in order for that to happen, first, as Star Wars likes to say, you need to destroy the old. And this shit definitely has to go. Either go or change, one or the other. Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.